America's military men and women live by. Never leave a fallen warrior behind, ever. Off the battlefield, Wounded Warrior Project operates with the same goal. Wounded Warrior Project was created to help our men and women returning home with the scars of war, whether those scars are physical or mental. Wounded Warrior Project. We never leave a fallen warrior behind, ever. Learn more about what we do at woundedwarriorproject.org.
My name is Whitney Allen, and I'm a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought we'd ever have to use life insurance, but the unexpected happened. With Ethos, signing up was fast and 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage. I'm grateful we were prepared.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/game. That's ethos.com/game. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
I feel wicked, awful, bad, awesome, sucky. I absolutely cannot face this. Wait a minute. It's Friday. I forgot. It's Friday. It's Friday. What do you do?
Today is Friday.
You've waited all week. You've been waiting. Monday, you got through it Tuesday, you got through it Wednesday, you started to smell it Thursday, you were right on top of it, and now it's here! It's Friday! It's time to rock and roll!
Now, from Wichita's most listened to sports radio, 95 and 1240 KFH. Yeah, Sports Daily.
Paul Savage, what do you think of that open?
I loved it. I'll tell you what, I love Kennison. He was great. I'll tell you what, the only guy funnier than him is Max Powers, the guy flipping the switches in our laboratory right here. That guy can do the thing, but Kennison, are you kidding me? Does it get any better than that?
I don't even think that we were told that open was made. I think that just a couple of weeks ago, we just woke up one day and we just heard screaming in our ears at 7:02, and now here we are, Sports Daily on a Friday. I've been waiting all week. You can smell it. Now it's here, and you've got Tejay Cleland and Paul Savage in with you once again. The second time in 2 weeks, your favorite combo is hosting Sports Daily. Everybody, that is, four-leaf clover, whatever you want to call it. Go buy your lottery ticket because your day is going to be a good day when you've got Cleland and Savage in the morning. Paul, how are you?
God, what is going on around this place? I can tell you that. That's kind of crazy. But I'll tell you what, it's really good to be here. We got some great topics. I mean, there's a lot of things. Something I got to tell a joke on myself. I hope you don't mind. But you and I are texting a couple ideas of what we're going to talk about tomorrow. We were doing that yesterday, and I get a text from you. God bless you. You say Karon Boyd is coming in from Wichita State basketball, and Karen. Most Karens are women, and my mind immediately, I see the Karen, and it goes straight to Karen. It goes to a Karen on the Wichita State basketball. So I text you, and I said, well, I'm going to have to do a little research. I hate to say this, but I'm being just truthful. I'm not really caught up on WSU women's basketball. I can get caught up. I'd go do a little research. He said, no, we've got Karon Boyd. And I'm thinking to myself, Savage, sometimes you can be the biggest idiot in the entire world. I think you would agree with that. Would you not, Tejay Cleland?
I'm not going to comment on that question. I'm just going to let you say that if the glass slipper fits, you can wear it, Paul Savage. Karon Boyd, that is the tease of the century. Karon Boyd will be joining the show at the final segment in just about an hour and a half. So if you want to listen to some Wichita State Shocker talk, Karon Boyd is going to join ahead of his senior day tomorrow in the Roundhouse. We'll talk to him about his stellar season that he's had with the Shockers and what's working so well for them. We're going to get you ready for a Sunflower Showdown tomorrow. We'll talk a little Shockers, and then who knows where the day is going to get when Paul Savage is in. We're just going to get philosophical, and we're just going to chat, have a good old day. All that brought to you by Wichita Brewing Company. It's What's on Tap, brought to you by WBC, now featuring the seasonal release Lazy McCafferty. This beer is packed with multi-specialty grains that you love in an Irish red ale, but it is light enough to put on your kilt. Have you singing from the tabletops all night long. Lazy McCafferty Irish Red Ale, now available at Wichita Brewing Company. Pizza and beer made here. Paul Savage, you got a kilt anywhere?
No, but I'll tell you what. I had one, And but the one good thing about a kilt, it makes scratching certain parts of your body a lot easier.
Understood. I can understand how that could be that could be true. You can listen to us here on 97.5 KFH. You can stream us on YouTube, X, 12 News Connected. You can listen to us for free on the Odyssey app as well. And let me tell you, I'm sure that whenever Paul Savage is in, he's already made 2 jokes already. It's a Friday. He's feeling loose, people. The arm is warmed up. He's about to fire him off, I'm sure, throughout the day. Paul, this morning, I want to start here as we typically have our meteorological segment to open the shows most days to complain about the weather. By the way, speaking of meteorological, there was a tornado sirens going off last night. Did you hear them where you were?
Yes. Well, obviously I was at home because like at midnight, I think I had been in bed for an hour or so.
Yeah.
And then they go off. And let me tell you, that's a little bit distressing. And I hate to think, let your mind run to what the worst possibilities. I mean, we're at war, for God's sakes, and sirens go off. You go, well, is there an attack of some sort or what's going on? Or what? Turns out, of course, it was weather. Turns out it wasn't even our weather. It was some weather down by the Oklahoma border. That was crazy, those sirens going off. But I thought to myself, my goodness, because there had to be, and I say this seriously, you don't like to see people stressed out over that kind of thing because that can worry a lot of people. And I sure felt bad that happened, but I guess I'd rather have them err on the side of caution.
Right. You'd rather them go off than not go off when they are needed to go off. Correct. It sounds like based on what was all happening last night from Storm Team 12. Shout out to Ross Jansen working a late shift last night, trying to keep people safe. He was on the air until past midnight. I know. And then I saw, some, I don't know if it's Sedgwick County or City of Wichita, I can't remember, but they put out that there was a tornado warning down at K-Star in Mulvane. Right. And those were supposed to go off. And then it got that far north. I didn't realize that. I know it was down.
I did. Yeah. I didn't know that either.
They eventually got up to there. So they went off at K-Star because there was a warning there that was real. And then that triggered Derby's going off. And then that triggered South Wichita. And then they just kept going off and off. And so it was kind of a malfunction that they went off as far as Northeast Wichita. But again, we're glad that they went off. We're glad that everybody's safe. I know that there was some real damage down in Oklahoma. It didn't sound like there was anything too bad in Kansas. So we're thanking everybody if they did have any damage down there in southern part of Kansas. Anyways, sidebar, still speaking of the weather, Paul Savage, I wanted to talk here. Jacob and I just about every day complain about the cold. This morning, I got a puppy around Christmas time. And so, we're waking up in the wee hours of the night. He's getting better. But as soon as you wake up, you got to take that dog outside. Today is the first day since I've gotten that dog that I did not have to go outside with a hoodie or a jacket on, Paul. It was like 62 degrees outside. What the hell is going on?
Well, it's just about that time. It's going to roll around. Sure enough, here's what's going to happen in 90 days. You're going to be griping about 100-degree weather. That's what's going to happen.
Dang right I am. I mean, we are.
You live in Kansas, man. You live in Kansas. There's good and there's bad. But, it's just like if you lived in Florida, really and truly, wouldn't you get tired of the palm trees, the bikinis, the beaches? You would get tired. Oh, Max is looking at me like I am frigging crazy. Max, it is kind of crazy. But, I mean, it's really nice to have the 4 seasons. We have 4 seasons here in Kansas, and I think that's kind of nice. Of course, Max is, he's used to palm trees.
Max is a meteorological baby. Max needs it to be 80 degrees every day, no higher, no lower. And well, he's made it clear.
That's right. There you go. But anyway, yeah, the weather's been it's I enjoy this kind of weather. But anyway, that's just me.
There you go. All right, coming up in this show, Paul, I think we should talk a little college hoops first, and then we'll dissect from there. So I think we need to talk about a Sunflower Showdown coming up tomorrow in Lawrence. Senior day for them as well. The Cats, they want to get – by the way, Paul, since you've been on the show last, we talked about the Jayhawks. They are 0-2 since Paul Savage has discussed Jayhawks. So we'll see if they go 0-3 under Paul Savage's watch and they lose to K-State and Allen Fieldhouse, you may be fired. I can't lie to you. I know that our boss is a KU fan. So
just how much chance do you actually put on the chances of Kansas State making this glorious play on the last game of the regular season in Allen Fieldhouse? How much chance do you think there is of that happening? Because if you say there's any, if you say there's just 1% chance, I'm going to say, I think you're nuts. What do you think of that?
I'm going to say less than 4, but that's my number.
Okay, well, I don't know where you got that number, but I got you.
All right. We're going to take a break. We'll come right back. We'll talk a little Hawks and Cats right after the break.
Lightning, hail, tornadoes, flooding. It's the worst of severe weather, and it's coming. Spring brings warmer temperatures, but also dangerous weather conditions. Stay up to date day or night with the Storm Team 12 weather app. You'll get accurate forecasts, so you can plan ahead and stay safe, no matter the weather. Download the Storm Team 12 weather app, brought to you by Stutzman's Greenhouse.
The future of television has arrived. Next Gen TV is here with stunning video, movie theater quality sound, enhanced voice clarity, and interactive features, all upgradable for the future. Learn more at watchnextgentv.com.
The canvas of our imagination. They tell a story. Clouds affect the events of your day. Sometimes they growl, sometimes they inspire, but they're always the messengers of nature's mood written in the sky. Storm Team 12 understands the language of clouds. We're dedicated to decoding their message so you know what to expect. Behind every cloud, there is a story waiting to be told. Trust Ross Jansen and Storm Team 12, alerting you first to the impact on your life.
We are following a breaking update.
Every day, all day, stream the stories that have you talking near and far.
Whoever is behind the wheel of this bus is not stopping.
From hundreds of local reporters and meteorologists spanning the country.
Chaos here this morning at the UW campus.
Search LNL for the all-new Local News Live streaming app.
Odyssey is one of the most influential audio and entertainment brands in the nation. You already know Odyssey's iconic local radio brands in Wichita. But did you know Odyssey has the country's best collection of music, news, and sports brands? Odyssey is also a premium podcast creator, major event producer, and digital innovator. Odyssey brings people together across the country and right here in Wichita. Odyssey also delivers meaningful radio and digital audio results. Find out our story and impact at odysseyinc.com/Wichita.
Make yourself known now.
310-1 in traffic pursuit.
Oh my God, here.
Investigate TV Plus begins with real people.
We investigate stories that impact you.
And inspire change every day.
Something is broken.
Real problems.
Why are they hiding it?
And real solutions.
My daughter was dying in front of me.
What was your reaction when he said that?
Investigate TV Plus, weekdays at 3:30 p.m. on KWCH.
Sometimes people tell us, I don't get it, it's just tea. But let me tell you, we are so much more than just tea. With 20 plus flavors of sweet and unsweet iced tea, the possibilities are endless. Come on in and try them all for free to find your favorite or get us on the go for your busy lifestyle. And don't miss happy hour every day. So the next time someone tells you it's just tea, tell them to come by and find out why we say, drink tea, be happy.
Jim Rome here, lighting up your afternoons on The Jim Rome Show. Catch me starting at 2 on Wichita's #1 sports radio, Kansas Fan Headquarters, 97.5 and 1240 KFH.
Mornings are busy. We're here to make your mornings better. We report the stories that affect you.
3 more hospital lies from contaminated apple juice just a day after the FDA issued a recall.
We're here to make your mornings better.
Closing east and westbound lanes of K96 for repairs.
With 12 News, you're prepared for your whole day.
Scattered thunderstorms across the state into the afternoon.
Stay a step ahead with 12 News this morning on KWCH and KSCW.
All right, welcome back in here to Sports Daily on KFH. We're talking a little Sunflower Showdown hoop. As always, you can give us a call. The KFH hotline, Max Power, is manning that, 869-1240. You can comment on YouTube, Facebook, X. We can put it right into the show. You can leave us a voicemail on the free Odyssey app as well. We can take in your voice messages. We've got a comment here from YouTube from I don't know what the name is there. Manus, there's a Manus or something of that nature. He said, FYI, my buddy Evan, who's a long time and several year-long listener as well as K-Witch watcher, just learned this week that TJ's name is TJ Cleveland and not T.J. Cleveland. Paul, did you know my name was spelled that way?
Yes, I did. I said, well, first of all, it's right on the little sign on your
we got the video stream. You can tune in and you'll learn very quickly on YouTube, like Mr. Manus here. I appreciate the comment there. For those that have always wondered that, I'll give you some backstory, I guess. We got Paul Savage in today. We'll just talk about some history. I know you're a history nut. My name is Tejay, not T.J. And it gets misspelled everywhere, and I'm well aware of that. It's Starbucks now. I'm not going to correct them. Typically, when they ask me to my first and last name and ask me to spell my last name, I'm going to say, you need me to spell my first name too, man. It's not what you think. My mom's name is Terry, and my dad's name is Jay, so it's Terry and Jay made TJ, and that's my name.
Wow, that is, I did not know. There's nothing wrong. I'll tell you what, man, I'm telling you this right now. Family tradition's everything. I mean, if you got a little family tradition going like that, I can see a TJ Jr. in your future.
You know what I can initial that to?
What?
TJ. T.J.
Not bad. Not bad at all. I like it.
So, anyways, I appreciate the name spelling conversation there. I'm very well aware of it. Whenever you get the keychains at the gas stations, just know there's never going to be a Tejay on there. I do know there was a pitcher for the Reds, TJ Antone, who spells it the same way as me, and there is a cyclist that is in the has done some Tour de France. TJ Van Gardner, and I believe spelled it the same way as me. Those are the only notable TJs that I'm aware of at the same name as me. So I guess now maybe if you Google Tejay, we'll see if my name gets on the first page. That'd be something, wouldn't it be?
Max just said that's the perfect porn star name.
All right. With that, we're going to move on. We're going to move on.
For Max today. Come on now, Max.
KU and K-State, Saturday at 1 o'clock in Allen Fieldhouse. Paul, I did a little bit of research here. KU has won this game in Allen Fieldhouse every year since, I believe, 2006 is the number. I couldn't remember if that was what it was. Right. 2006. Every single time that they played in that building. Not a lot of teams win in that building under Bill Self's watch. K-State is not one of those teams. So, with the way that this year has gone, I'll ask you this. I've been asking people this. K-State fans obviously mega frustrated. They were the second worst team in the Big 12. They can't finish in last anymore, Paul. Update on that. They have to finish second to last now, at least. So they're going to finish second to last likely. KU is a team that is nationally ranked. They're a contender. They could, go all the way if they can get their crap together. But as of this week, Paul, K-State's 1-0 and KU is 0-1. Would it make it more frustrating for K-Staters if this was the year they got it done?
No, I don't. Well, of course, everybody wants to win. And I mean, that's just human nature, my friend. Everybody wants to. And when it comes to, K-State people and KU people, who else would you rather beat than them? I mean, you always want to get them, that's for sure. But here's the thing. This game, I'll be real truthful. Normally, I sit up and I pay attention. K-State basketball. It's going to be good basketball, and it has been over the years traditionally, even going back days and years and decades. It's always been good basketball between the two. But I'm having a little hard time, my friend, kind of mustering that. Even do I care? Do I even care? Because let's face it, there's a
lot of that. There's a lot of that going on in Manhattan this year.
That's right, and that's me as well. And I hate to say that, but that's just human nature. Is there any chance that KU loses to K-State? I'm going to say zero. I said zero. There is no chance of KU losing this game to K-State. And with that being said, I don't know why one would want to put themselves through even watching it. And I hate that for the sponsors of the game, those that are buying ads.
Hey, Paul, you watch your mouth. You know where that game is airing?
Where?
KWCH, buddy.
Oh, I did. Hey, I swear to gosh, I didn't know that. I swear to God, I did not know. I apologize for that. Please, all the nice people I like over at KWCH, I apologize for. I didn't realize it.
That's okay.
So
That's okay.
That means it's must tune in, watch TV. I'm gonna be on that thing from the time it starts to the time it ends.
Just flip on the channel and just go outside and go on a walk or something. That's fine with us. Counts all the same.
You know, we've had years. Listen, K-State has been one of those teams. I'm going to tell you right now, for the last 2 months, I wish the season was over.
Yeah,
I wish the season was done. And you know,
a lot of people like
that. The players on that team wish that as well. So, I get it. You know, TJ, I understand everything that's going on, but there's no chance that Kansas State wins this basketball game in Allen Fieldhouse. There is no chance. And I'm just anxious for K-State to get this over with, because they want it to be over with. This is the team that wants this to be over. They want to turn in their jerseys as quick as they can and walk out of that place. Start figuring out, what am I going to do next year? Where am I going to go next year? How much money can I make next year? I hope I'm not damaged goods coming from a program like K-State. But, you know, that's why it's still important for K-State to play well. There are guys on that team that are still playing for themselves, as you're
that's true.
Aware of, with regards to money and NIL and what can I make, what can I sign for, who's going to want me, where will I fit in. There's all kinds of those kind of things floating around in their minds. So it's going to be competitive, I think, for a few players, but for the most part, players don't want to be there, and I don't blame them.
Here's what I said throughout this week, Paul, is that there's different ways of thinking about this. It's not insignificant that KU's lost 4 of their last 6. Like, they're struggling a bit. They lost to Cincinnati at home. They're, it's kind of hilarious. They're not that good on Saturdays, but on Mondays, they beat anybody you put in front of them. This game isn't on a Monday. It's on a Saturday. You can say something about that. They've lost 4 of their last 6. They looked bad on Tuesday night against Arizona State, who's a bottom feeder of the conference, like K-State, to be fair. K-State, they won on Tuesday night. And K-State, Paul, they've got nothing to play for, which means they've got nothing to lose. Who cares if you go out there and get beat by 30? We're going to go try to beat them, right? There's something to be said about that. K-State's not going to roll over in this game. And to be fair, they were a team. Listen, guy, I'm playing devil's advocate. I don't think that K-State can win this game either. But damn it, Paul, it's sports, and we've seen wackier stuff happen.
We're going to play the game. That's it. The game's going to go on, no matter what.
Let's just make the excuses and backtrack if you're a KU fan here, and that way you can say, like, well, we lost back-to-back games, and K-State, they won on Tuesday night, and maybe that'll help you get some sleep at night if something happens in this game. But again, it's a very uphill climb if they want to get it done. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. I finished. I'm sorry. I jumped on you. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I asked Fitz yesterday. I said, there is 1 regular season game left. Then they go into the Big 12 tournament. Well, right now they are the 15 seed. Going to have to play the 10 seed, which is BYU. If they win, they'll have to play something along the lines of, fill in the blank. I don't even know who the team that good in that next echelon would be. Then if they win that, they'd have to go play Arizona. I said, with the rest of this year, what's the over under on if they win another game? Like what's the win total the rest of the way? And he said they will not win another game. There's no way.
And yet on the other hand, you've kind of inspired me. You didn't even know you were inspiring me, DJ.
Maybe I should be a coach, Paul.
Maybe you should be a coach, because you kind of inspired me. And I thought to myself, something, if I'm the head coach at Kansas State right now and I get those kids into that locker room, or I spend the week, I mean, you obviously start this stuff, as soon as the next game's over, you start this kind of stuff, this attitude, this theme, whatever you're trying to get across to these kids and buy in, before you throw the ball up at the start of the game. And I'm sitting there thinking to myself, I'm thinking, here's the words I speak. I'm going to say, fellas, you want to be a part of a miracle? You want people to mention this basketball team for as long as the ages are, as long as basketball is being played. They're going to talk about that 2026 team from K-State that walked in on the last game of the year into Allen Fieldhouse and beat the mighty Jayhawks when they weren't supposed to. a team that was supposed to be done, a team that was supposed to lose, a team that may have just supposed to have gotten their little butts beat, but you didn't. You guys stood up and you guys became legends. That's what we're shooting for. Now let's get out there and make some baskets.
Wow.
Now, what about
Paul.
Is that a way?
I mean, I think that Warner Brothers might be listening right now. They need a movie script, and then in 20 years when that movie comes out, Paul, people are going to ask you, and they're going to say, "Wow, could you remember when that happened?" And you said, "No, I didn't watch it. I thought there was a 0% chance K-State was going to win." Paul, name me 2 players on K-State's roster right now. I'm going to put you on the spot. He can't do it. Whenever he just gave the Miracle on Ice speech, the Miracle in the Fog speech, and he can't name me the K-State's best player probably. So for that reason, I still think the chances are likely less than I'll say less than 1.5%. I'll raise it down from or lower it down by 4%.
All right, good for you. That sounds right. That sounds about right.
It's interesting stuff. KU's an interesting spot. You know, they need to roll in this game. They need to exercise some demons, Paul. That's what I said is the other side of what I was talking about is that you lost 4 of 6 and you looked like crap on Tuesday night. And if you're a K-Stater, you can say like, hey, they're in a bad spot. Maybe we can take advantage of it. If you're a KU person, though, you're saying we've lost 4 of 6 and we just lost to Arizona State on Tuesday night. We better beat K-State by 100 points, right?
Well, I think that'd be the way to do it. I mean, KU has something to say about this too. You certainly don't want to go into the tournament having played horribly, even if you win. I mean, it's one thing to win, one thing to lose, obviously. But if you're KU, under the circumstances with a team like K-State, it's important that you go into this tournament playing well, that you're on track, you're mentally ready, that kind of thing. You certainly don't want to have a crummy showing on the Saturday before you play, particularly against somebody like K-State, who's your in-state rival. So, yeah, I get it, TJ. It's important to, all the little cliches that you grew up with playing sports in high school and middle school and all that other stuff, same thing all applies to this very case. You go in, you do your best, you try to get a win. The goal is always to get a win. So, yeah, go in, give it a shot. I know if I was on the K-State team, I mean, man, I'd give it my best. I mean, I'd be looking for
Why not?
I'd be looking for it, man. I'm telling you, I'm looking for it. I'm looking for the win.
Telling you, there's something to be said. Everybody always talks about the interim boost whenever you fire your coach, you start playing better for some reason. And I think it's just mainly because the players are just like, well, we have no pressure anymore. We can lose every game. So let's go try to win a couple. Why not? Let's see what happens.
There's also a money consideration in this, TJ.
There's something to be said about that.
You've got some time left in your college career. I think it's important that you go out and you show that you're a good player. You're worth whatever somebody's willing to pay you. And I think it's probably in the best interest of these kids to play well. They have not at times played well. They've won a few games that I suppose one would say they should win, just based upon sheer talent. But man, I'll tell you what, I've got a ranked team at one of the most traditional places in the United States to play basketball. I'm going in, I'm going to give a good shake, and I'm going to give a good appearance, and I'm going to do all I can to win this game. And I'm going to show anybody that wants to get me out of the portal that I'm worth it, that I'm worth that extra $100,000, $200,000. Tack it on, Derek, and I'll come to your school. And
you know why? Because I was on the 2026 Miracle team at Kansas State University. They're going to know their name. Paul Savage is going to learn their names, right?
That's exactly right.
That's exactly right. I'll ask you this. Let's play this game. Let's play this game, Paul, since you were the now removed back-to-back champ of the picks. The Friday football picks, got dethroned this year, by the way. We haven't talked about that since you've been back on the show. Make a line. What's the line in this game? It's not out yet, so you can set it.
Oh, okay. I'm going to say 14.5.
Yeah, that's probably pretty good. It's going to be double digits, right?
I think it will be double digits. I certainly can't see it. I mean, if it's at 8.5 or something like that, I think I'm betting the farm. If you know what I mean.
It'll be double digits. They're not going to put it all the way to like pushing 20 because KU has struggled. So I'd say you're probably about right on. Paul, let's change tunes a little bit. Talking about KU, as I said, since we've spoken last, they are now 0-2, and as I've said, lost 4 of their last 6. They didn't look very good on Tuesday night. Peterson, though, as has been the national conversation, he's played in all these games and, maybe doesn't look particularly healthy like we've seen the film in high school and everything, but he's finishing the games and he's, at times getting hot. He looked pretty good in the second half against Arizona. Didn't look that good against Arizona State offensive, scoring wise. He affected the game in other ways. So the question becomes, Paul, they are slumping at the worst possible time that you can slump in a college basketball season. But in the same breath, they've got a guy that might be the number one pick in the draft. They've got Bill Self as their head coach. They've got other guys that are damn good basketball players. How much do you trust them as you start to fill out your March Madness bracket if they continue the skid? Well, let's say they beat K-State and then they lose their first game in Kansas City in the Big 12 tournament. How much do you trust them in March Madness?
I'm not sure I trust them very much at all. I mean, I trust them to get through this Saturday. I don't know that I trust them a lot. Now, will they get through the first round? Yeah, they'll get through the first round. They're probably going to end up playing a 9 or 10 seed or something like that. Don't you think around? Probably. Yep. Well, no, they'd
they'll be like a 4 probably. They'll get like a 13.
Yeah, so they'll probably get something like that. And I get that, but I'll tell you what. There's an old axiom that you want to play your best basketball. Well, actually any sport, but basketball right now, you want to play your best basketball going into the tournament. You don't want to be riding some problems. You don't want to be trying to jump on the backside of winning again. You want to go in strong. You want to go in with that streak with confidence. And right now, KU doesn't have that. At least I don't think they do. And part of that is the on-floor leadership because Darren Peterson, I'm as great a talent he is, and we can see that talent in him. We see that. I'm not convinced that he's a number one pick. I'm not convinced that he has, oh gosh, I hate to say this. I'm not sure he has the mental toughness. He certainly has the set of skills, but there's a lot of things about him that I have question marks on. But I'm just a lowly coach. What do I know? I don't know that much about this stuff, but I have certain question marks. But do I have confidence in K-State? Do I have confidence that K-State gets out of the first weekend? No.
K-State's not making the tournament, Paul. Hey.
KU. Does KU
talk about miracles?
Well, that would be a miracle. And but anyway, no, I don't have a lot of confidence in KU getting out of the first weekend.
So let me ask it this way. There's something to be said about, obviously it's not the year that Darren Peterson has wanted it to be. He's had the injuries and there's, something to be said about protecting your investment and everything like that. But he missed a lot of games and there's question marks from the NBA that are coming out as well. I've seen, mock drafts that have him at 2 now as well, Paul. But I'll ask this is that this is what makes it so interesting is they're going into the tournament. They've got Bill Self and they've got a guy that, we haven't seen it yet, but could literally just score 50 points. Like if he finds it, he can score it better than anybody in college basketball, probably. Like, can they find the lightning in the bottle for 6 games is all that they're asking for. Like, what? And that, guess what that would do? That would also, he's probably the number one pick again.
That's asking a lot. 6 is a bunch.
If you are Bill Self, we'll call you Bill Self Savage. Do you try to change anything on May 6th, or do you just say, you know what, guys? We're going to see how many points he can score, and we'll see how far we can ride this thing.
Balls to the walls is what I'd do.
There you go. You heard it there. Bill Self, Paul Savage is going to give you a call. We got some advice for you. Coming up on the other side, let's talk a little Shockers. They are expecting quite the crowd, Paul. What does that mean for Shocker basketball? We'll talk about that on the other side.
Lightning, hail, tornadoes, flooding. It's the worst of severe weather, and it's coming. Spring brings warmer temperatures, but also dangerous weather conditions. Stay up to date day or night with the Storm Team 12 weather app. You'll get accurate forecasts, so you can plan ahead and stay safe, no matter the weather. Download the Storm Team 12 weather app, brought to you by Stutzman's Greenhouse.
The future of television has arrived. Next Gen TV is here with stunning video, movie theater quality sound, enhanced voice clarity, and interactive features, all upgradable for the future. Learn more at watchnextgentv.com.
the canvas of our imagination. They tell a story. Clouds affect the events of your day. Sometimes they growl, sometimes they inspire, but they're always the messengers of nature's mood written in the sky. Storm Team 12 understands the language of clouds. We're dedicated to decoding their message so you know what to expect. Behind every cloud, there is a story waiting to be told. Trust Ross Jansen and Storm Team 12, alerting you first to the impact on your life.
We are following a breaking update.
Every day, all day, stream the stories that have you talking near and far.
Whoever is behind the wheel of this bus is not stopping.
From hundreds of local reporters and meteorologists spanning the country.
Chaos here this morning at the UW campus.
Search LNL for the all-new Local News Live streaming app.
Odyssey is one of the most influential audio and entertainment brands in the nation. You already know Odyssey's iconic local radio brands in Wichita. But did you know Odyssey has the country's best collection of music, news, and sports brands? Odyssey is also a premium podcast creator, major event producer, and digital innovator. Odyssey brings people together across the country and right here in Wichita. Odyssey also delivers meaningful radio and digital audio results. Find out our story and impact at odysseyinc.com/Wichita.
Make yourself known now.
310-1 in traffic pursuit.
Oh my God, here.
Investigate TV Plus begins with real people.
We investigate stories that impact you.
And inspire change every day.
Something is broken.
Real problems.
Why are they hiding it?
And real solutions.
My daughter was dying in front of me.
What was your reaction when he said that?
Investigate TV Plus, weekdays at 3:30 p.m. on KWCH.
Sometimes people tell us, I don't get it, it's just tea. But let me tell you, we are so much more than just tea. With 20 plus flavors of sweet and unsweet iced tea, the possibilities are endless. Come on in and try them all for free to find your favorite or get us on the go for your busy lifestyle. And don't miss happy hour every day. So the next time someone tells you it's just tea, tell them to come by and find out why we say, drink tea, be happy.
Jim Rome here, lighting up your afternoons on The Jim Rome Show. Catch me starting at 2 on Wichita's #1 sports radio, Kansas Fan Headquarters, 97.5 and 1240 KFH.
Mornings are busy. We're here to make your mornings better. We report the stories that affect you.
3 more hospitalized from contaminated apple juice just a day after the FDA issued a recall.
We're here to make your mornings better.
Closing east and westbound lanes of K96 for repairs.
With 12 News, you're prepared for your whole day.
Scattered thunderstorms across the state into the afternoon.
Stay a step ahead with 12 News this morning on KWCH and KSCW.
Sports Daily is on KFH.
Paul Savage, welcome back in. I just got freaked out because I had KWCH.com opened up, and as the show came back in, it started playing an ad. And I said, who is talking to me right now? That's not Paul Savage's voice. This is Paul Savage's voice in front of me right here. We are talking some shocker hoop. But first, let me tell you about a contest we've got going on. Vegas is ready to rock. We're giving you and a guest a chance to win a trip to see Metallica. Life Burns Faster coming to Sphere Las Vegas for select dates, September 24th to October 24th. Get hooked up with travel, a 3-night hotel stay, and a pair of tickets to both nights of the opening weekend of their Sphere residency. Thanks to Q Prime. All you have to do to enter is listen to us on the Odyssey app, download the free app, create your account, favorite art station, KFH, and listen for an hour to get your daily entry. Come back each day for another chance to win. For more info, sign up for pre-sales beginning Tuesday, March 3rd at Metallica.com. This is a national contest. Paul, you strike me as a Metallica guy, right?
Yeah, I certainly don't have a problem. By the way, I'm just curious. Have you ever been to the Sphere? I mean, have you ever had the opportunity?
I've been outside the Sphere. I've never been inside the Sphere. I want to go.
Okay, it's something else. I've seen a couple of shows with regards to how they do stuff, and it's just fascinating. I mean, I think it would be quite an experience, and I hope to go one of these days. I think it'd be a lot of fun. But man, that's a good. I sure am glad to see KFH and Odyssey, our company, offering things like this, a chance to go to the Sphere. I think that's cool with Metallica. That's really good stuff.
They had the Wizard of Oz there.
Oh, did you hear, Max?
It was totally immersive, right? They had the wind would blow out. It was all around. You know what the tickets were?
Flying monkeys flying around.
$300.
What? Did you hear
go
that,
see the
TJ?
Wizard of Oz movie?
A lot of LEDs in that thing. You got to pay them off. Tickets are expensive to get into the Sphere, so that's why you should listen on Odyssey for an hour. Get your daily entry. Maybe you could go for free in our national contest there. All right, let's talk a little shocker hoop here. They are very much in the mix, Paul. They are. If they win on Saturday, last night, as we talk about, we keep box score watching. Tulsa got a win last night over East Carolina, so Tulsa has taken their stride they needed to take in this race, and now Wichita State, all they have to do is just win one more game. So if they lose, it'll get hairy, and it sounds like they would fall to the 3, if I'm not mistaken, based on how Tulsa goes on Saturday as well. But as of right now, if Wichita State wins against Florida Atlantic on Saturday, they will get the 2 seed in the American Conference Tournament, meaning they're going to get a triple bye and only have to win 2 games to get into March Madness. Paul, I ask you this because on Saturday for the senior day, they are already reporting that lower bowl tickets are limited. There's already sections sold out. They've had a new season high attendance number for, I believe, 3 consecutive games, and it's looking like it may be a 4th. They're going to try to push to get 10,000 in there. That's a tough ask to do, but 9 isn't that crazy with the way that the numbers that they put up, and they're riding a 5-game winning streak. Paul, have you felt a glimmer of the excitement coming back around Shocker basketball throughout this year?
Yeah, and part of it is the decision to reduce the price of the tickets and get some butts in the seats. I think we visited shortly about this. Briefly about this last week, and I enjoyed that conversation with you regarding this. And I thought both of us came to the conclusion the smart thing was somehow figure out a way to bring back some excitement. Now, obviously, you can't bring back excitement into a basketball program without good basketball. Come on now. There's nothing you can do. There's nothing you can do except give away tickets to somebody, and whether they show or not, who knows. But Wichita State has earned this moment to be in the spotlight, of the city of Wichita. You're now at a place right now where you have attention. You've got some people's attention. I'm not saying that you are where they were, let's say, in that magical 2013 team area or anything like that. That's not what I'm saying. But what I'm saying is Wichita is a very interesting and knowledgeable team about basketball, and they understand when things start getting better and improving. And you now have the attention of the Wichita sports fan, particularly those that love Wichita State basketball. You got their attention.
It's true.
Now, fellas, what are you going to do with that attention? How are you going to treat the people's attention?
Yeah, so far they've held up their own. They've packed it out for the last 3 home games, and they've gotten big wins in each of them. They were able to take down Tulsa, Temple, and who am I missing here? I can't remember the other one. Oh, they beat South Florida. They lost South Florida, but they beat Tulsa and Temple. Both were big home wins as well. So you can finish on a good note here on Saturday. As I said, they're 2 wins away from the tournament. If they win on Saturday, they can get in now to go down to Birmingham. They'd have to win on Saturday and Sunday, and then they're in. And it's a tough ask, and we're not gonna act like it's an easy thing to do. They're gonna have to beat 2 good teams in that as well. But back to this conversation that we're having, Paul, is that we've always talked about, in the current landscape of college sports, because so much has changed from 2014, 2015, when they're the number 1 team in the country, because it's different. There's a transfer portal now. That team, Ron Baker, came in as a walk-on from Scott City and they turned him into a star in his senior year. Like nowadays, would Ron Baker have stayed past his freshman year? He probably would have. He's a Kansas guy. But my example, you know what I mean? My example here, would Fred VanVleet have stayed his entire time at Wichita State? Would they have been? Would they have been so good? KU would have called. Kentucky would have called. Like, that's the thing, and that's what's so much different now of what those teams were back then. But again, the same breath, if you're the number one team in the country, you could be doing some calling as well, right? Like, there's a lot of players out there that's like, hey, you want to come play for a top 10 team that has 10,500 in their arena every single night? Like, I always say, the NIL and the portal, I mean, it may have come, 5 years too late. Like, Wichita State, when they had this thing cooking, they'd have, everybody in Wichita would want to be like, well, I mean, it's weird that, we need to give to the program now to that. But talk about support and ticket sales and the money that was coming in whenever you were the number one team in the country. Like, they just missed the boat. And I'm not saying they're the number one team in the country by any stretch of the imagination here, but you're getting them excited again. And if you can win the games, and if you can punch a ticket into March Madness, and then all but two of these players, it sounds like, will be able to come back next year. And if you can do that and go get somebody and build it back up again, guess what? You've got a team that Wichita cared about back next year. And somebody like Paul Savage, who hates learning players' names every year, if you can make it happen, he's going to say, I liked those guys last year. I'm going to go buy some tickets. And then you fill it up again in November. And then you're winning game. Like, the building blocks. Like, this is what has always been there. The hard part about it was winning the games. I'm exactly right in all this, aren't I, Paul?
Yeah, you're exactly right. You're right in everything, darn it. But
I'm going to record that.
It's really interesting, because here's the thing. You got one more game. Now, this is a ride that we're on, and you've pointed that out very, very well, and I appreciate that about you. You've pointed that out. But right now, this is a job that's not fully complete if you want to get some solidity underneath this basketball program. Because here's what you got to do. I'm going to and you tell me if I'm right on this. Here's what's got to be done for maximum effect to get this city back, and it can be done. You're on the brink of doing that. One is go out and win your last home regular season game at home. Go ahead and win it. Now, you lost the first game to this team by 8 or 10 points. I can't remember quite what it was, but it was somewhere in that neighborhood. So you here's a chance to get this game back. You're going to do it at home. Then you go out and you win the AC. Well, I'm not going to say, what is the name of this?
Hey, come on. Just the American Conference.
It's the American.
Hey, by the way, sidebar to cut you off here. Paul Mills was on with us on Tuesday morning, and Jacob called it the AAC tournament, and he caught himself, and Coach said, I do it every day. So you're not alone here, Paul Savage. You're good.
Good, because I still do it. But anyway, you get the point. But go win that tournament and get into the big dance, and then go have a good showing. If you can do that right now, just think, TJ. Think about what this city would be thinking about the Shockers. Think about just how excited
they're begging. And like it's the one thing of all the, we've got the Wind Surge and we've got the Thunder and, you've got, even Shocker baseball or whatever you want to say. Like, there's only one thing that really can drive it home, and it's Shocker basketball. Like that, it's their pro team, and everybody talks about it when they're good. Like, you go to, whatever your workplace is in Wichita, if you work at Textron or Cessna or Coke or wherever you go, you walk in there on a Monday morning after they find a way to beat, whoever you want to say back then, beat top 10 UNI a decade ago. Like, holy cow, did you see Ron Baker last night? Those guys were crazy. And it's just missing that. And everybody wants that to come back. And it feels like there has been a step from last year in March or the last 5 years in March, Paul. Nobody was talking about the Shockers in March, were they?
Yeah, well, no, you're exactly. Oh, gosh, no. In fact, they were wanting to get them out of their mind on practically. But here's the beautiful part about where you're at. You win just those few ball games. I mean, we're talking about what, 3 ball games, 4 ball games. You win those 4 ball games and get into the tournament. This team will be, this city will be eating out of your hands. And when you step onto the court to play your first game next year, you're going to play in front of 10-5. You're going to play in front. I'm making that prediction. You get to the tournament. I don't even care if you lose your first round in a tournament. You get to the tournament. There'll be 10-5 sitting in that arena ready to greet you on your first game back for next year, because there will be so much buy-in and appreciation for this team and appreciation for Wichita State basketball, because we've missed it. I mean, I've missed it. I'm going to be real truthful.
I've never seen it, Paul. I got here. I moved to Wichita in 2019, and I believe within my first, if I'm not mistaken here, I believe in my first like 3 months, the Marshall Fire happened, and I was a lowly 18-year-old at Newman University. And I was like, oh, that's kind of weird. I remember that name. I remember seeing him in March Madness all the time. That's pretty crazy. And I read up on that, and then it was like, well, I don't know what's going on over there. And then I, start working in media, and then I start digging deep into the weeds about this, and then I don't know if I've ever seen a crowd of 9,000 in the arena since I've started covering the Shockers. So we'll see what Saturday can get to.
Yeah, but that's where this team is, really, truly. I mean, this is a city hungry to get back to that. Don't you think? I know. In fact, I know you know that. This city's hungry.
I mean, look, we put it this way: is that every July, whatever it is, or September, I guess it was this last time around, or August. Sorry, excuse me, August. This last August, there were 10,000 people in the arena to watch the Aftershocks, and only 3 of the guys were Wichita State alums.
There you go.
That's how bad they would just want to see somebody in black and yellow win basketball games. So again, 3 o'clock on Saturday. If you want to watch one final game for the Shockers, I want to dig into this, Paul. This is an interesting conversation. We'll do this on the other, remaining hour, the second hour of the show. Is that they've got 3 seniors they're celebrating. One of them potentially could come back, but maybe not. We'll see. Karon Boyd, who we're going to talk to, Kenyon Giles, who's scores 22 a game, I believe is what the number is. Shoots it from the parking lot. Awesome player. They love him. And Emmanuel Okorafor, who they love as well. These 3 guys, none of them were in Wichita a year ago, but I guarantee on senior night, that place is going to go pretty ruckus for those 3 guys. It's interesting in the college landscape that's still the truth. I want to see what you think about that. We'll talk to Karon Boyd about that as well. Is that, will he be a Shocker for life? I don't know. He's only been here for a year. We'll get his take on that. It's an interesting question. On the other side, we'll talk about some headlines that Jacob probably missed. Jacob's out having fun, so me and Paul will dig into it. That and so much more coming up on a second hour. Stay with us.
Lightning, hail, tornadoes, flooding. It's the worst of severe weather, and it's coming. Spring brings warmer temperatures, but also dangerous weather conditions. Stay up to date day or night with the Storm Team 12 weather app. You'll get accurate forecasts, so you can plan ahead and stay safe, no matter the weather. Download the Storm Team 12 weather app, brought to you by Stutzman's Greenhouse.
The future of television has arrived. Next Gen TV is here with stunning video, movie theater quality sound, enhanced voice clarity, and interactive features, all upgradable for the future. Learn more at watchnextgentv.com.
The canvas of our imagination. They tell a story. Clouds affect the events of your day. Sometimes they growl, sometimes they inspire, but they're always the messengers of nature's mood, written in the sky. Storm Team 12 understands the language of clouds. We're dedicated to decoding their message, so you know what to expect. Behind every cloud, there is a story waiting to be told. Trust Ross Jansen and Storm Team 12, alerting you first to the impact on your life.
We are following a breaking update.
Every day, all day, stream the stories that have you talking near and far.
Whoever is behind the wheel of this bus is not stopping.
From hundreds of local reporters and meteorologists spanning the country.
Chaos here this morning at the UW campus.
Search LNL for the all-new Local News Live streaming app.
Odyssey is one of the most influential audio and entertainment brands in the nation. You already know Odyssey's iconic local radio brands in Wichita. But did you know Odyssey has the country's best collection of music, news, and sports brands? Odyssey is also a premium podcast creator, major event producer, and digital innovator. Odyssey brings people together across the country and right here in Wichita. Odyssey also delivers meaningful radio and digital audio results. Find out our story and impact at odysseyinc.com/Wichita.
Make yourself known now.
8310 in traffic pursuit.
Oh my God, here.
Investigate TV Plus begins with real people.
We investigate stories that impact you.
And inspire change every day.
Something is broken.
Real problems.
Why are they hiding it?
And real solutions.
My daughter was dying in front of me.
What was your reaction when he said that?
Investigate TV Plus, weekdays at 3:30 p.m. on KWCH.
Sometimes people tell us, I don't get it, it's just tea. But let me tell you, we are so much more than just tea. With 20 plus flavors of sweet and unsweet iced tea, the possibilities are endless. Come on in and try them all for free to find your favorite or get us on the go for your busy lifestyle. And don't miss happy hour every day. So the next time someone tells you it's just tea, tell them to come by and find out why we say drink tea, be happy.
Jim Rome here, lighting up your afternoons on The Jim Rome Show. Catch me starting at 2 on Wichita's #1 sports radio, Kansas Fan Headquarters, 97.5 and 1240 KFH.
Mornings are busy. We're here to make your mornings better. We report the stories that affect you.
3 more hospital lies from contaminated apple juice just a day after the FDA issued a recall.
We're here to make your mornings better.
Closing east and westbound lanes of K96 for repairs.
With 12 News, you're prepared for your whole day.
Scattered thunderstorms across the state into the afternoon.
Stay a step ahead with 12 News this morning on KWCH and KSCW.
Awful, bad, awesome, sucky. I absolutely cannot face this. Wait a minute. It's Friday. I forgot. It's Friday. It's Friday. What you do? Today is Friday. You've waited all week. You've been waiting. Monday, you got through it Tuesday, you got through it Wednesday, you started to smell it Thursday, you were right on top of it, and now it's here! It's Friday! It's time to rock and roll!
Now, from Wichita's most listened to sports radio, 97.5 and 1240 KFH, this is Sports Daily.
Paul, did it sound as good the second time around?
Oh, yeah, I like it. I love Sam Kinison. I think he's talented. I thought he was hilarious. By the way, look what I still have. It's still sitting here at the studio. Man, this is the newcomer of the year. Cleland. I'll tell you what, congratulations on that. Still here at the studio. Nobody stole it, thank goodness.
I know. You better stop talking about it over the air. Somebody's going to want to break in and come take it. Take it easy.
It's still here for you, man. Look at that. I think that's tremendous. Good job on that. I'm happy for you.
Thanks. Oh, thanks. I'm glad that I could be such a great team player. You really try to, raise the stakeholder value, shareholder value, everything like that. The blah 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 blah, corporate jargon, blah blah blah. All right, let's talk about the 9th floor bracket challenge. This March, the madness isn't just on the courts. Take it over downtown Wichita. Join KFH for Hoops for Heroes, the 9th Floor Club and Venue on March 20th. From midday madness, buffet lunches to evening madness in the Cloud9 Cigar Lounge, the Ultimate Tournament Watch Party. Enter the Ultimate Bracket Challenge. 100% of proceeds benefit Can Vets United, supporting our local heroes. Get tickets and brackets and learn how you can be a member for a day at 9thfloorwichita.com, 97.5 and 1240 KFH. Paul, let's get into the thick of things here. Max, how about you play the intro for us?
All right, Sports Daily fans, let's take you to the sports headlines Jacob probably didn't see.
I'm going to guarantee you Jacob probably hadn't seen any of these headlines because he's out having fun while us peons are working, right, Paul Savage?
Well, I'll tell you what. Depends on what he's doing, but yeah, we'll see.
I heard he's been swinging some golf clubs. I thought that if I'm friends with him on like the online apps, where you can track your buddy's golf scores. And so I got a notification yesterday that he was golfing, and I was following along with his score. And it was a tough course. He shot 100, but I'm not gonna raise any eyebrows about that. If I would have gotten on there and saw that he shot like a 125 or something like that, we were gonna call him this morning on the hotline and make him comment on what happened out there.
That's not fun though. I'll guarantee you that's not fun. I don't care if you're out on the most beautiful golf course in the world. That's not fun. If you're going to shoot over 100, man, that ain't going to be any fun whatsoever.
You can have some fun under the 110 range. If you're over that, you're not having fun the entire time, but you're bound to have a couple holes that are all right. If you're over 110, then you're having a terrible day.
Yeah, Jacob is too competitive, though. I mean, I'm not.
Jacob ain't good at golf. I'll tell you that much.
So that boy, you said a mouthful there. But anyway, he's not having fun. But anyway, we hope he has some fun, for guys' sakes.
That's right. All right, let's get into a couple of these headlines here. One of them, Paul, I talked to Jackson about this yesterday, but I want to mention briefly here. Kyler Murray is interesting. You texted me about this one. There was the headlines that the A's, basically, he's getting it cut by the Cardinals next week, it sounds like. And the A's reached out and said, hey, we drafted you in the MLB. If you want to play some baseball, I'm sure there's still something in there. Like, there's something to be said about that. Is that outlandish to think about, Paul?
I don't know. That's a good question. And, history has several really good examples of football players becoming football and basketball, I should say, becoming baseball players. None of them ever became the baseball player that they were in their regular sport. Now, he'll be 29. That's getting up there. In the world of baseball, 29 is getting up there.
Yeah, that's the thing here, is that you're not – if he's switching to baseball, he's not playing for the A's next year. He's playing for the Las Vegas Aviators in AA or something like that.
That would be true. I guess his career in baseball, if he has a career, I should say, his career in baseball boils down to two words: bat speed. Does he still have that ability to get around and hit major league pitching? Because that's a different thing.
I've always heard it this way, Paul. I'll put it this way: the Royals have their stud outfielder Jack Caglione, the rookie. If you're aware of him, he crushes baseballs. So in college, he was a pitcher and a hitter. He threw about like 100 miles an hour from the left side. He was an awesome pitcher too, and they drafted him as a two-way. And he's spoken about this, and they said, like, are you going to do both? And he's like, they told me that I'm going to do both. That's the plan. And then all of a sudden, now he's in the bigs, and he does not do both. And everybody asked kind of what happened with that. And he said that, like, when I was in the minors, we said that it's still a possibility that can happen in the future, but they wanted to hurry up and get him up there. So just focus on hitting, and then we'll figure out the rest later. So he put the pitching aside, only focused on hitting. And the reason being, Paul, is that you can give up pitching and you can figure that out. That's like riding a bicycle. If you give up hitting for 2 years, good luck trying to figure out how to do that again.
Yes. That's good insight. I hadn't heard it put like that.
Kyler Murray has given up hitting for 8 years. Can he find that?
Well, here's what he needs to do. If I was him, to save grace, I'd go find me some pitchers. And I mean, you can still find some good major league pitchers, maybe retired, or maybe they're in the minors or out for some reason, but bring them into your backyard, get a catcher, and find out if you can hit the guys. And you'll probably get a sense for that, because if you can't, I'd save a lot of embarrassment. Now, Michael Jordan was a pretty good baseball player. Did he ever arrive to the point where he could make a living doing it or get a roster spot? No, I don't think so. Same with Bo Jackson. Those are two really great examples of two athletes that were outstanding in their game at the time that they were playing that game, and they couldn't do both. And something tells me that 29 is just a little old. But baseball teams being baseball teams, they're going to find out. What's it going to take? I mean, you're going to get some publicity out of it no matter what, at least that you're searching for players. But what is the main job for baseball teams? Find players. That's the hard part of this whole thing, finding players.
Guess what, Paul? If Kyler Murray was an accountant and he came out of retirement of being an accountant, I don't think they'd be calling him.
That's right. But it's hard to find baseball players. But 29, you're an athlete. I mean, you were the number. What was it? Was it
number 9 pick?
Number 9 pick. Am I right on that?
Yeah.
Number 9 pick. 8 years ago or whatever it was, 7 years ago. Somebody's going to take a look at it. And, that old Dennis Quaid movie about where he comes out of retirement as a high school pitcher and it says, well, baseball scouts, well, we're always looking. And he's going to get a look because at one point he was pretty good. And that's enough to justify. They're going to take a look at it.
Listen,
he's going to get a good look. The question is, does he have the bat speed? I'm sure he can still, field and do the things that he needs to do like that. But it's the bat speed. We'll just see. Can he get around? Can he get around on a fastball? That's the question, isn't it?
It is a question. I don't think there's any. I mean, put a percent chance, by the way. What is this going to happen? Less than 10? It feels like 10. It's
maybe 10.
Yeah, the thing is, though, that it's not out of the question for the A's to do this. And this is the only sport where this could happen. You know why? Because every team has about 150 minor leaguers, or whatever the number, 125 minor league players. So it's like, sure, play some minor league baseball. We'll just try. And if it doesn't work, then we'll just give up on that. But this isn't going to happen in the NFL or the NBA when you're like, hey, we need all these roster spots, and we don't have very many of them. So
no minor league baseball player is ever going to go get a tryout with an NFL team. However, you do have some basketball players that could try out for NFL teams after 5 or 6 years in the NBA. You could still have, because remember, there's been some pretty good tight ends through the world. I mean, I can think of
they're college basketball players.
They were college basketball players, and some of them, a couple of them that were really all pro type caliber tight ends, never played college football, and yet here they are in the NFL, playing for years and years and years. So it can go both ways there, but this is a unique circumstance. I have a feeling that it's going to be hard for him to do this. Football in itself takes a toll on your body, particularly as a quarterback, and I'm just not sure that it's going to work out. I hope it works out for him. I got nothing against Kyler Murray. I think it's an interesting story. I think it's a very interesting story. We'll just
Speaking of baseball, Paul, let's take a quick pivot here. World Baseball Classic was something else you texted me about. I'm looking at the ESPN headlines here. Shohei Ohtani with a grand slam already in WBC play, and the rout over Taiwan from Team Japan, the champions of last time around the World Baseball Classic. I don't even know. Are you a big baseball guy? Do you like the WBC? I think it's pretty darn cool.
I think it's interesting. I don't understand it. And part of the reason I don't understand it is because, first of all, particularly with the Americans, and I'm not sure how it is with some of the other countries, but we're not being able to use our pitchers. I mean, you've got skis and all the, you got a number of guys that they're limited on what they're going to do. They're, are they going to even get 3 innings of work in the entire season for these guys? So, I mean, it's kind of a misnomer. And it sounds like you're trying to play the championship game before the season even starts, which is kind of odd to me. It's kind of odd. But I mean, I know they can't play this tournament at the end of a season. This isn't like NCAA basketball where you can play a whole season, battle, and then come out and play a tournament and see who wins. That's not baseball, is it?
It's true. This format is such a sprint because obviously you have to get it done in like a 2-week span because the baseball season's about to start. So you have to get all these games in. It's interesting of how the pitching works because obviously there's pitch counts and everything of that nature. I know that Tarek Skubal, one of the best pitchers in baseball, he said basically, I'm going to pitch for you for 1 game and I'm going back. Like I can't waste time here. And there's something to be said about that. They'll find a way to get it done. They've got a lot of arms. Team USA is the odds-on favorite I've seen last time I looked, which is interesting because Team Japan is pretty stinking good, Paul. It's fun to watch. I'm telling you, you need to tune in, especially down the. I know last time it came down to Shohei Ohtani versus Mike Trout at the plate in the 9th inning of the championship. Like, that's awesome. You can get that in March. That's good baseball. It's good stuff. And by the way, you get to beat on your chest and chant USA, which I know Paul Savage loves a lot with your We the People hat on. All right, after the break, we're going to come back, talk a little more college hoop. We're going to get into some Miami of Ohio. Perfect season has happened. We'll be right back.
FH.
Lightning, hail, tornadoes, flooding. It's the worst of severe weather, and it's coming. Spring brings warmer temperatures, but also dangerous weather conditions. Stay up to date day or night with the Storm Team 12 weather app. You'll get accurate forecasts so you can plan ahead and stay safe, no matter the weather. Download the Storm Team 12 weather app, brought to you by Stutzman's Greenhouse.
The future of television has arrived. Next Gen TV is here with stunning video, movie theater quality sound, enhanced voice clarity, and interactive features, all upgradable for the future. Learn more at watchnextgentv.com.
Canvas of our imagination. They tell a story. Clouds affect the events of your day. Sometimes they growl, sometimes they inspire, but they're always the messengers of nature's mood, written in the sky. Storm Team 12 understands the language of clouds. We're dedicated to decoding their message, so you know what to expect. Behind every cloud, there is a story waiting to be told. Trust Ross Jansen and Storm Team 12, alerting you first to the impact on your life.
We are following a breaking update.
Every day, all day, stream the stories that have you talking near and far.
Whoever is behind the wheel of this bus is not stopping.
From hundreds of local reporters and meteorologists spanning the country.
Chaos here this morning at the UW campus.
Search LNL for the all-new Local News Live streaming app.
Odyssey is one of the most influential audio and entertainment brands in the nation. You already know Odyssey's iconic local radio brands in Wichita. But did you know Odyssey has the country's best collection of music, news, and sports brands? Odyssey is also a premium podcast creator, major event producer, and digital innovator. Odyssey brings people together across the country and right here in Wichita. Odyssey also delivers meaningful radio and digital audio results. Find out our story and impact at odysseyinc.com/Wichita.
Make yourself known now.
31001 in traffic pursuit.
Oh my God, here.
Investigate TV Plus begins with real people.
We investigate stories that impact you.
And inspire change every day.
Something is broken.
Real problems.
Why are they hiding it?
And real solutions.
My daughter was dying in front of me.
What was your reaction when he said that?
Investigate TV Plus, weekdays at 3:30 p.m. on KWCH.
Sometimes people tell us, I don't get it, it's just tea. But let me tell you, we are so much more than just tea. With 20 plus flavors of sweet and unsweet iced tea, the possibilities are endless. Come on in and try them all for free to find your favorite or get us on the go for your busy lifestyle. And don't miss happy hour every day. So the next time someone tells you it's just tea, tell them to come by and find out why we say, drink tea, be happy.
Jim Rome here, lighting up your afternoons on The Jim Rome Show. Catch me starting at 2 on Wichita's #1 sports radio, Kansas Fan Headquarters, 97.5 and 1240 KFH.
Mornings are busy. We're here to make your mornings better. We report the stories that affect you.
3 more hospitalized from contaminated apple juice just a day after the FDA issued a recall.
We're here to make your mornings better.
Closing east and westbound lanes of K96 for repairs.
With 12 News, you're prepared for your whole day.
Scattered thunderstorms across the state into the afternoon.
Stay a step ahead with 12 News this morning on KWCH and KSCW.
On KFH.
Welcome back in. Sports Daily. KFH, TJ Cleland, Paul Savage in with you this morning. Paul filling in for Jacob Albrecht. Paul, Miami of Ohio has done the impossible and pulled off a excuse me. They've got one more game, correct?
Yes,
they play tonight. Sorry.
Right.
They have not done it. They haven't done it yet, but they're 30-0. And they are one win away. They're 13-point favorites, according to what KenPom believes tonight. So they're one win away from being 31-0, which is insane to think about. They're 31-0, and here we are, Paul, talking about if they don't win their conference tournament and get the automatic bid, they might not get in. What's Paul Savage think about that?
You know something, isn't that interesting? I mean, really and truly, that's not what we usually think of when you think of success. You know, to go undefeated. TJ, you've done sports. Just how hard was it when you were playing to go undefeated? Yeah, it's hard,
I never did, Paul.
Yeah, and you're not unlike many 99.9% of all young people to play in sports. That'd be you. I mean, be you, me, anybody. It's hard to go undefeated. And so with that being said, that's my first thought, my first nature of thought is this is so hard. How could you not put them in? And I know, well, but you look at who they played, and there's a heck of a case to be made for the fact that Miami, Ohio hadn't played anybody. I mean, when I say they haven't played anybody, I mean they haven't played anybody. That's what I'm talking about. So, I get that, and I understand that. But man, just to go undefeated against the Sisters of Mercy, for goodness sakes, would be difficult. It'd be hard to do. I go with the fact that, boy, I sure would like to see them in, even if they lose one game. If they lose that, let's say they lose the championship game of the MAC, do they not get in? I'm going to say, yes, I think they deserve to be in because that's still a lot of wins. It's just a lot of wins. But this is a team, and by the way, let me just if I can make a case just real quick, I'll do it quickly. The MAC is a unique conference compared to the Big Ten, the Big 12, the SEC, all those, the ACC, all those. It's a different type of conference. It's a type of conference where everybody's playing on the same page because they don't have the money coming in like a Michigan or a Purdue or an Arizona or any other team. They don't have that kind of money. Everybody's playing with the same amount of NIL money. I wasn't aware of that, but I am now. Basically everybody in the MAC, they got the same amount of money to offer anybody else. So you build a team, you're building a team with the same tools that the teams you play that are in your conference are using, which I think makes it even more difficult because you're not using the money that, say, Michigan State has, are you? Or you're in Miami of Ohio. How about Ohio State? You think they got a little more NIL money than you do at Miami of Ohio? I think that's the case.
They do. So this is where it gets interesting, Paul, is because you make a good point, is that they could lose tonight and then they lose in their conference tournament too. Then we're talking about a 30-2 team, and will they get in? Well, I don't know. They lost to Ohio and they lost it. Like that resume, blah, 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 blah. And I understand where the argument comes from because of the net and strength of schedule and how it's weighted and things like that, is that you shouldn't be punished for losing to good teams if you are Auburn. That's the team that everybody always puts out there. Auburn, whatever. The TCU, whatever you want to say there. Like, you shouldn't punish them for playing hard schedules. But in the same breath, like, if you've got a team that won 30 basketball games and they're not in your field of 68 like maybe we need to reevaluate the criteria. Like that to me is crazy to think about, that you could be, and it goes back to, UCF went undefeated and didn't make the college football playoff a decade ago, whenever that was. Remember that? And everybody's like, how can you have a perfect year and not have a chance to play for the national championship of the sport? Like, and I understand they won't be perfect if they don't win their conference tournament, and that would be a loss. But like, if you could even 25, if you've got a team that gets to 25 wins, like that's a team that's good enough to get into a tournament and potentially, raise some hell in the tournament. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, the Shockers have gotten to 20, and we've talked about how good they've played this year. Like, Miami, Ohio's at 30. They could get to 31. They could get to whatever 34 is whatever the number might be. The Shockers did that, and they were the 1 seed. Miami, Ohio is going to get in and be like an 11. Even if they win, even if they're undefeated, they'll be an 11 seed. So here's what's interesting about this, Paul. I talked to Jackson Schneider about this a bit yesterday. Is there's been some reporting coming out yesterday, basically, is where it really came out, is that reporters have filed open records requests. And, obviously these are public institutions, so you can see a lot of stuff. Miami of Ohio, their schedule's super soft. They reached out to Ohio State. They reached out to KU. They reached out to BYU and Utah and whatever you want to say. Like, they reached out to like 70 plus schools, it sounds like, and they got told no, because they are in the weird middle spot of saying, like, you're small enough that you're not going to help us if you're KU or whoever you want to say in this scenario. If you're KU, Miami of Ohio is small enough where it's not really going to help KU if they beat them, but they're small enough that if they beat KU, it looks bad on KU. And they're big enough that there's a chance that they could beat a big mid-major like that. So nobody wants to schedule them. And especially they don't want to do it as a buy game. They're not going to pay Miami, Ohio to come there and do that. So to Miami, Ohio's credit, it's not their fault that their schedule's soft. They tried, and nobody else wanted to play them. And I guess for good reason. They're undefeated, I guess.
Yeah, but you'd still like to see. I mean, what come first? The chicken or the egg on this deal? I mean, how do you get these games? I mean, well, and I'm speaking for the Wichita State Shockers, and this would have been when you were a little bit younger, and you would not have been here at this radio station. There were days when the Shockers were pretty good, really good. And guess what? Couldn't get Wichita State could not get KU or K-State to play them. And I always thought that was a sin. I always would have liked to have seen, these are all state universities, right? All three, get money from the state.
Exactly.
We give them money. And I always wanted to see the state legislature say, hey, we're giving you millions of dollars, Wichita State, KU, K-State, play each other. All of you guys play each other. It's for the good of our state. Play each other.
I agree.
And yet they never did.
So that's an interesting sidebar here, is that brought up the conversation that I talked to Jackson about yesterday, is that last year, not this year, K-State and Wichita State had played each other for like 4 straight years, I believe, and they played in Wichita last year. Wichita State beat them by 20. And after the game, it was the last game of the series. They scheduled out a contract and said, we're going to play each other for 4 years. And, it was basically up to the coaches if they wanted to do another one. Paul Mills said, I think this is great for the state of Kansas. I want to play them. Like, I think it's good. It gets fans into the Roundhouse, which is good for us. It's good for K-State as well, because it's a home and home. They'll get a game against us as well, and they'll probably do pretty well from Wichita fans. They'll travel there as well. That's the name of the game. K-State, though, Jerome Tang got up there, and he said, no, I don't think we're going to renew it. I don't want to, because his job, and there's something to be said about this. I get it. His job is making sure that K-State makes the tournament, the big tournament. And Wichita State isn't going to help them make the tournament. Because if they beat them, they're supposed to beat them. If they lose to Wichita State, that really hurts them. And so, to me, Paul, that's a loser mentality, right? Why are you worrying about losing to them?
Well, I get you. No, I understand. And you got to remember, though, at that point, I believe Wichita State, at the time, the period of time you're talking about, Wichita State was pretty good. And I get what they're saying. I get what Tang's saying. But there always seems to be a picture that's bigger than just you and your team. This is about the overall good of sports in Kansas, the overall, the helpful nature of competitiveness for our citizens, because I can tell you this right now, there isn't a citizen in the state of Kansas that doesn't want to see that game. I mean, I can't even imagine if you're a K-State fan, you don't want the opportunity to beat down Wichita State and put them in their place. I just can't imagine you don't have that mindset. I'd love to play the Shockers. We're going to put those guys right in their spot, and we're going to show them where they really deserve to be. That would be pretty tempting, and I get it. But, I understand all this stuff. I never could get anything to happen. I tried to get I interviewed some legislatures, as a matter of fact, years ago on our show with regards to this matter, but it could never go anywhere because there are, believe it or not, this is going to shock you, TJ. It never went anywhere in the legislature because there were legislators that went to KU and K-State. How about that?
It's interesting stuff, especially now is that it's not. And there's something to be said, I guess, about, playing Wichita State back whenever they were that good. But again, I say it this way. K-State, Jerome Tang, whenever he made his schedules, had shown, we're going to go play, not to offend anybody if you're fans of Mississippi Valley State or anything, but they're going to go play Sisters of the Poor 20 times before they get into the Big 12. To be fair, you're going to play in the Big 12. You're going to play enough hard games there. We don't need to get any more. KU, on the other hand, Paul, they've got Duke and North Carolina on their schedule every single year. They don't care. They'll get these games in there. But now, if Wichita State, I think now with the way that it is, if Wichita State was, top 10 in the country, KU would probably try to get something because they understand that part of it. So I don't know. I don't know if it's going to happen or not. We'll see what the new coach of K-State, whenever they hire him, what he thinks about it. And I know Paul Mills is going to push for it because he's in our camp here. Speaking of Wichita State, let's switch gears. Quick pivot mid-show. I asked this question earlier, Paul, because you're, obviously the number one hater of the way that college sports have gone. NIL, transfer portal, it grinds your gears. You can't sleep at night thinking about it sometimes, I'm sure. It's senior week for a lot of teams around the state. For Wichita State, they've got, two guys in specifics, but three that they're going to celebrate. Karon Boyd and Kenny and Giles. These two guys, they came in, never been to Wichita in their life. I guess Karon Boyd played against the Shockers last year, but probably never stepped foot at, around the campus, everything like that. Came to Wichita State a year ago, knowing nothing about Sedgwick County, probably. And now, Shockers have won 20 games for the first time in 6 years. They're knocking on the door of the NCAA tournament. Giles is now a record holder for three-pointers in a season at Wichita State, and everybody loves them. And they're talking about they're going to be Shockers for life. What is there to be said? Is there something to be said about, where those guys stand in Wichita State history because they didn't go to school here for 4 years? Does that change? We'll talk about Giles specifically. He holds the record for three-pointers. Excuse me. He's your leading scorer on the best year you've had in 6 years, but he's only been in Wichita for, 8 months. Where does he go down in the minds of Shockers?
Right. And one of the things, too, is that this is senior night, and I appreciate senior night. But for you to graduate, I believe, from Wichita State, you have to have gone to school longer than just your senior year, 2 semesters. I think that's the case. Somebody correct me if I'm wrong. That's the way it is at a number of schools. It becomes impossible to graduate if you transfer from the portal, on your senior year and you start the school year. And I think you've got to have more hours than you can take in regards to,
there might be something said about summer classes and things like that. But yeah, you're right about that.
But it's very difficult. And so, it's kind of a misnomer. They're seniors, but what they are, the more proper term would be fourth year player or fourth year of eligibility player. Because a lot of these guys are going to have more than 4 years with red shirts and prior to that, COVID. And, we got guys that are 27, 28 years old playing college basketball because they can make a pretty darn good living playing college basketball versus, working in another job. So, yeah, it's an interesting thing. But we're talking about sports, and I'm going to give it to them. They're seniors in terms of their eligibility.
It's true.
Not because of their academic travels or their academic efforts. They're seniors because of their eligibility in basketball. And I make the separation for that. Do I like to see the guys that were playing for Greg Marshall? A lot of those guys came for 4 years, stayed for 4 years, and graduated. Do I like that? I really do. They're citizens of of Kansas. They're citizens. They're a part of Shocker Nation for life. That's what happens when you graduate from a school. And I'm with you. I'm not going to.
It's interesting stuff. So I'm going to ask. We'll ask Karon Boyd this on the other side as he joins the show here, because he's a guy. I believe he started in Division II basketball, Paul. So this is interesting. And then he transferred around, ended up at East Tennessee State, played there for 2 years, I believe. Did some good things for them. He was the SoCon Defensive Player of the Year. Then came to Wichita State for his final year. So I'm going to ask, he's got multiple stops. Does he think of himself as a Buccaneer for life? Is he a Shocker for what does that mean? So this is a stat for you. This is from Isaac Trotter. He's a national college basketball guy. I talked about this yesterday on the show. As it's senior week, there is only 22 high major, so Power 5 conference scholarship players, 22 players that play in the Power 5 who will celebrate senior night this week, having played in just one school their entire career. In the SEC, there is only one player that started his freshman year at Mississippi State and finished his senior year at Mississippi State. Out of all the teams, there's only
one.
One. Big 10 has 10. Big 12 has 5. Big East has 3. ACC has 3. SEC has 1. And I believe Taylor Eldridge did the digging, and the American has 2. Wichita State has 0.
Good night. I had no, I knew it was bad. I did not realize
it feels like it. It feels like we flipped the boat here, right? Like the portal. The portal is something that there's something to be said about it, but there's no rules, and now it's lit itself on fire so much is that we're talking about this, and where there's one player that started his freshman year somewhere that finished somewhere. It's interesting.
Today. Congratulations, man! That was a great stat. I had no idea.
Interesting. I mean, it's such a conundrum is that the portal applies to multiple categories. The portal isn't for the guys that don't play like it used to be. Like the portal used to be like, I'm not in a good spot, I got to get somewhere else. The portal now has become 1, I'm not in a good spot, I need to transfer somewhere else where I'm going to play. 2, I'm in over my head here, I'm going to transfer to a smaller school so I can get more playing time there. Or 3, I'm dominating, I need to go to a bigger school and do that. Or even 4, I'm really good and then somebody's going to pay me more money than I'm getting paid here.
That was the last one. Yeah, that's the
and that covers literally every single player in college basketball.
Yeah, that does cover them all, and that's a good point, particularly the pay part, because we all understand that. Because obviously, the number one question, the first question asked by every one of these kids in a portal, if somebody contacts them, is how much will you pay me? That's the first. That's number one question, isn't it?
It is. It's interesting. It's interesting stuff. Karon Boyd, it's interesting for him as well. I know there, and the other part of this, to be fair, Kenyon Giles started his career at Radford. Karon Boyd started his career in Division II, and they've climbed their way up, and now they're playing at Wichita State, and they're going to have probably 9,000 people, screaming for them on Saturday night. And that's cool. Like that part of the portal is the good part of the portal. That you get to see some success stories like this. And so to be fair, the portal gives and the portal takes. If you're a Wichita State fan, you can't complain about Corey Washington and Quincy Ballard leaving, because the portal also brought you Kenyon Giles and Karon Boyd. So, it's just what college basketball is now. So on the other side, we'll get Karon Boyd in here. We'll talk a little bit about senior day, about what it's going to mean for him playing his final games as a college basketball player, about the season that they've had for Wichita State and the opportunities in front of them as they're knocking on the door of an NCAA tournament with a win on Saturday afternoon. As we said, Florida Atlantic, 3 o'clock. We'll get him in here on the KFH hotline. Max Power will give him a call. We'll talk a little Shocker hoops right after the break.
Lightning, hail, tornadoes, flooding. It's the worst of severe weather, and it's coming. Spring brings warmer temperatures, but also dangerous weather conditions. Stay up to date day or night with the Storm Team 12 weather app. You'll get accurate forecasts, so you can plan ahead and stay safe, no matter the weather. Download the Storm Team 12 weather app, brought to you by Stutzman's Greenhouse.
The future of television has arrived. Next Gen TV is here with stunning video, movie theater quality sound, enhanced voice clarity, and interactive features, all upgradable for the future. Learn more at watchnextgentv.com.
The canvas of our imagination. They tell a story. Clouds affect the events of your day. Sometimes they growl, sometimes they inspire, but they're always the messengers of nature's mood written in the sky. Storm Team 12 understands the language of clouds. We're dedicated to decoding their message so you know what to expect. Behind every cloud, there is a story waiting to be told. Trust Ross Jansen and Storm Team 12, alerting you first to the impact on your life.
We are following a breaking update.
Every day, all day, stream the stories that have you talking near and far.
Whoever is behind the wheel of this bus is not stopping.
From hundreds of local reporters and meteorologists spanning the country.
Chaos here this morning at the UW campus.
Search LNL for the all-new Local News Live streaming app.
Odyssey is one of the most influential audio and entertainment brands in the nation. You already know Odyssey's iconic local radio brands in Wichita. But did you know Odyssey has the country's best collection of music, news, and sports brands? Odyssey is also a premium podcast creator, major event producer, and digital innovator. Odyssey brings people together across the country and right here in Wichita. Odyssey also delivers meaningful radio and digital audio results. Find out our story and impact at odysseyinc.com/Wichita.
Make yourself known now.
310-1 in traffic pursuit.
Oh my God, here.
Investigate TV Plus begins with real people.
We investigate stories that impact you.
And inspire change every day.
Something is broken.
Real problems.
Why are they hiding it?
And real solutions.
My daughter was dying in front of me.
What was your reaction when he said that?
Investigate TV Plus, weekdays at 3:30 p.m. on KWCH.
Sometimes people tell us, I don't get it, it's just tea. But let me tell you, we are so much more than just tea. With 20 plus flavors of sweet and unsweet iced tea, the possibilities are endless. Come on in and try them all for free to find your favorite or get us on the go for your busy lifestyle. And don't miss happy hour every day. So the next time someone tells you it's just tea, tell them to come by and find out why we say, drink tea, be happy.
Jim Rome here, lighting up your afternoons on The Jim Rome Show. Catch me starting at 2 on Wichita's #1 sports radio, Kansas Fan Headquarters, 97.5 and 1240 KFH.
Mornings are busy. We're here to make your mornings better. We report the stories that affect you.
3 more hospital lies from contaminated apple juice just a day after the FDA issued a recall.
We're here to make your mornings better.
Closing east and westbound lanes of K96 for repairs.
With 12 News, you're prepared for your whole day.
Scattered thunderstorms across the state into the afternoon.
Stay a step ahead with 12 News this morning on KWCH and KSCW.
Daily on KFH.
All right, welcome back into Sports Daily here on KFH. TJ Cleland and Paul Savage should be getting connected with Karon Boyd. Do we have Karon on the line here?
No, not yet. We're still still working at it.
We're getting it. Okay, we'll
is what Max said.
We'll kill some time here while we wait for him. We'll talk a little more Shocker hoops here as we get ready for Saturday afternoon. Florida Atlantic coming into this one. Paul, that was a game that they played back a month ago, I believe. And it ended up being, a somewhat manageable final score, but at one point, I mean, it was over 20 plus and it was trending towards 30. They didn't look good in that game. It was their worst game of their, conference season thus far. And now you got to find a way to get it done. Since that game, they've gone in opposite directions. Wichita State, that was kind of their turning point. They looked really good in the game after that, and thus going farther, they beat the team that's going to won the conference the very next game, actually. And Florida Atlantic has trended towards the bottom of the conference. So what's changed is a different story. But Paul, I'll ask you, as a coach here, you have a game that you come out, kind of get smacked around a little bit. You have to play that team again in a really important one on Saturday. How do you tell them, like, we've learned from that one?
Well, it's buy-in is what it is. I mean, Wichita State, and I want to speak to them because what's going on is not necessarily what the head coach is doing, because this particular head coach, and I'm gaining more and more confidence in him all the time. Paul Mills is doing just a terrific job from what I can see. And it's not Paul Mills trying to cater to players, not trying to change who he is, change what they're doing to fit players and their abilities. Paul Mills, from what I can see, says this is what we do. This is how I coach. This is how we play defense. This is what we do. This is how we attack the paint. This is exactly who we are. You young men will be a part of who I am. And it appears to me that somewhere along the line, this stuff always kicks in. Just so happens, you just very nicely pointed out, that happened to be after the game after Florida Atlantic, wasn't it? That seems to have been when everything kicked in. And I think that is so cool. And TJ, I'm not saying that this is a team that was lost in the wilderness. I'm saying this is a team that all of a sudden said, Paul Mills's will has become stronger than my will to do my thing. Paul Mills wants me to do things his way. I believe that that's the right way to do it. Boy, I'll tell you what, that's a beautiful story in a lot of ways. I mean, this is a Wichita State team. I'll tell you what a great story this is going to be if they can just get to the dance. I'm not even saying they got to make a run in the dance. I'm just saying this team will gain greatly in the world of benefits if it comes to the point where they get into this tournament, TJ. It's going to be something extra special.
It's true. It felt like the shift that they made in that South Florida game. It's the perfect example. The one after Florida Atlantic is that they, had struggled with kind of giving up the big runs. You think about the game against Charlotte that they had. They lost in double overtime. That was one that they blew an 18-point lead in, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. And then, you get to South Florida. Florida Atlantic, same thing. Is that what happened in that one is that gave up a big run, it got big, and that they weren't able to punch back. Basically, South Florida, they threw the first punch. South Florida punched back hard. They went down big. There was kind of the run and the thing that you scratched your head about what the season is gone, and then something switched, and then they were able to go on the big run that they had there, and then they come back, won that one in overtime, and then that set something off that they won 3 in a row, and then they've won. What is it? I think 10 of their last 12 is the number that it's gotten to now. And so there was a mindset shift. And I guess as a coach, that's the thing that you try to get them to do, right?
Right. And if you can witness such a thing, 2 or 3 times in a lifetime, it's an amazing thing. And it's a beautiful thing when you see it happen. And we're in the midst of this happening. Now, has it happened totally, TJ? I'm not so quite sure that it's happened totally at this point. Is it on the way? Well, it might be on the way. But I'll tell you what, this is one of those things where when it happens, it's a beautiful thing. And it looks like we have Karon on the line right now.
We'll get that. We'll get Max plugged him in here to the show with TJ Cleland, Paul Savage here on Sports Daily this morning as we get ready for Senior Day on Saturday afternoon at 3:00 against Florida Atlantic. We're talking a little bit of Shocker hoop here. Karon, do we have you?
Yes, sir. How you guys doing?
Yes. Karan, how you doing this morning?
I'm doing great.
There you go. We're getting ready for Saturday afternoon, talking about the season was, talking about a little senior day. First, let's start with just kind of how the Shockers are doing. I believe, I can't do that quick math in my head, but I believe it's 10 of your last 12, 9 of your last 11. You guys are rattling something off. We're talking about the last time you played Florida Atlantic. Obviously didn't go the way you guys wanted it to. After that, against South Florida, it felt like something shifted. Did you feel that? And what was it that's rattled off all these wins for you guys?
I feel like after playing all the games earlier in the year, we really learned from our mistakes and took a lot of the learning experiences and changed it and helped us grow and made it better. It's always been a motto of you want to be the best team when it comes to the end of March, not the best team at the beginning of the year. So it's all about continuing to grow, and really we just took the opportunities that we saw, watched the film, and made a lot of corrections.
What's the one thing that Coach Mills has installed in this team that wasn't there earlier in the year? Or maybe not as much, but the one thing that he has worked and said, this is what we're going to do. My will outstrip your will. This is what I want done. And it's been a project to get to that point. What is that one thing from Coach Mills?
He instilled a lot in us during the summer. So we had all the foundation. We just wasn't executing. I think it was really more so being it's the TNT plays, as he would call it, is take no talent. So being the first to the floor or being the first down the court to help stop transition. So I think it's really more so the effort plays that helped taking the extra effort, get into the extra gear to be there to dominate the team.
Karan, I'm interested in your game this year. Obviously, you come over as the SoCon Defensive Player of the Year, and pride yourself on your defense, which is something that you still do, and defensive stopper, everything like that. It really feels like you've grown offensively this year. You've gained kind of a 3-point shot that I know you talked about earlier on in the year. That was something that you wanted to do, and it's become a weapon for Wichita State in their offense. Do you feel like in your senior year at Wichita State that you've taken a step forward yourself as well?
Yes, sir, I do believe so. During the summer, it was a big goal of mine, me and the coaches, to really help on get my offensive game going and be more productive. So definitely, as you guys can see, that my 3-point percentage has been a lot better compared to previous years.
When you look back on your college career, do you think to yourself, I'm a shocker? Do you think I'm an East Tennessean? What do you classify yourself as with regards to the college that seems to invested as much in you as you have in it?
Yeah. Honestly, I think I'm a little bit of everybody because, being at different colleges for certain times, it's always a little piece of you that stays there. But I think I'm definitely a shocker at heart.
Oh, interesting.
That's kind of what we're talking about here this morning, Karan, is that I know that you were a Division II guy, kind of worked your way up the ranks, and now it is here at senior day, and you're putting a bow on your college career and everything like that. What's that like as a transfer that has, as you said, you're kind of a Buccaneer, you're kind of a shocker. I don't know Aiken's mascot off the top of my head. You'll have to help me with that one there. But it's been a journey for you, but it isn't just at Wichita State. What are those feelings that you're feeling as you're heading into Saturday?
And just really a bunch of feeling of gratitude, honestly, just coming where I came from in my journey, how long it took, and just the different places it took to get here. I wouldn't trade it for the world. It helped build me in the person I am today. I learned a lot about myself and about the game of basketball. So it's really just a lot of gratitude. You don't see that many people make it out of Division II, let alone make it to Division I and then transfer up another level. So it's definitely a great feeling for me seeing that my hard work has paid off and like all the resilience and my parents instilled in me just really shows a lot.
Yeah, for sure. This is something that I talked to, KG about, Kenny and Giles, earlier this week. Karon Boyd joining us here on Sports Daily this morning, is that, the transfer portal is what everybody will always say about the transfer portal. It's changed the way that, obviously college basketball operates, but in the same breath, it brings guys like, Kenny and Giles, who started his career off at Radford, be able to come to Wichita State, and a guy like yourself playing Division II basketball and ended up at Wichita State. And now you're looking at, 8,000 fans in the seats again for, whatever the third or fourth straight game. Does it feel like, a success story the way that you've do you feel like you've climbed, with your game as well, and to a point where you feel like your collegiate career is a success?
It definitely feels that way, but we're not done yet. We still have a lot to achieve. We want to win this conference tournament, major NCAA tournament, and go on a run. So definitely we're in the right direction, and we just gotta end the last 2 pages of the story.
It's always interesting, you get to a player like yourself. It happens to all of us. It happened to me. It happened to Tejay. It happened to all of us who played college sports, no matter what the sport is. That time comes when you walk away from that college and you realize, for many of us, it did for me, that I'm done with sports. I'm done with playing sports. What do you have on your agenda if you don't hook on with somebody, say, for instance, in Europe or whatever? What's on the agenda for you to transition away from your college sports career?
It's on the agenda. I'll say I definitely want to continue pursuing my career professionally, whether it is overseas or trying to go to the NBA and do like the G League route or something like that. But it's definitely my goal to pursue professionally. And once the professional time is up, I major psychology, so I would love to do something within that. Yes, sir.
Oh, cool.
So whether that's working in a hospital, being a physician assistant, or trying to be a therapist and help people out to their problems.
Good. I've got a couch. I was wondering if maybe later this afternoon I couldn't get you to swing by the house real quick. I've got some problems.
Yeah, Karan the Shrink. We'll get him in for you. Karan, correct me if I'm wrong here. You've never played in the NCAA tournament. You didn't get in there with East Tennessee, did you?
No, sir, I did not.
I was going to say, so now kind of with what's going on, I know there's one more on the schedule and everything like that, but, Coach Mills has always talked about you can't look too far ahead, but you got to give yourself the best chance whenever you get down to Birmingham. What is that like? Obviously it's March, we're talking on March 6th that, there's still goals still ahead of you guys. Does it feel like you're really in the hunt and you guys have a legitimate chance to pursue those goals? And what would that mean for you?
I said, most definitely feel that way. We're definitely in a hunt. Like Coach Mills always said, just always worry about the game that's in front of us. Worry about now. Don't worry about what's 2 weeks ahead. And you get caught up in that, forget that what your goal is like the present day. But it definitely will mean a lot to me and my teammates to go out and go to the conference tournament, win that, and go to the NCAA tournament, help Wichita bring some light back to Wichita, and then really senior year, really going out with a bang.
There you go. We got about 30 seconds left, Karan. I'll ask you this. What has this transfer class, this team at Wichita State meant to you in your 1 year here?
It meant a lot, honestly. Coming in, we have a lot of transferred, but from the summer, we just became like a brotherhood quickly. We all developed, learned each other's game, and just how well we connected just means so much to me.
There you go. Karan, appreciate you. I appreciate you waking up early. Sorry, we're up against it here. I appreciate you waking up early with us this morning for Sports Daily. We'll see you Saturday in the Roundhouse. Best of luck.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much for having me.
All right, there goes Karon Boyd. We'll be back with a little more Sports Daily.